Oh, hello! Welcome back to another installment of Poetry, Prose, and Puppets, presented by the Puppet Truck. I'm your host, Dr. J. We have a scene full of foolery prepared for you today. Gurney, King George, and Ace the Dragon will be performing an excerpt from Act 1, Scene 4 of William Shakespeare's King Lear. In this scene, we find Lear, played by George, and his servant, played by Ace, at the castle when the Fool arrives, played by Gurney. The Fool comes in to tell Lear that he has made a bad decision dividing his kingdom up amongst his daughters. Fellas, take it away.
How now, my pretty knave, how dost thou? Sirrah, you were best take my coxcomb.
Why, fool?
Why, for taking one's part that's out of favor. Nay, thou canst not smile as the wind sits, thou'lt catch cold shortly. Here, take my coxcomb. Why, this fellow has banished 2 on's daughters, and did the 3rd a blessing against his will. If thou follow him, thou must needs wear my coxcomb. How now, nuncle, would I had 2 coxcombs and 2 daughters? Why, my boy? If I gave them all my living, I'd keep my coxcombs myself. There's mine. Beg another of thy daughters. Take heed, sirrah, the whip. Truth, a dog that must to kennel, he must be whipped out when Lady the Brack may stand by the fire and stink. A pestilent gall to me. Sirrah, I'll teach thee a speech. Do. Mark it, nuncle. Have more than thou showest, speak less than thou knowest, lend less than thou owest, ride more than thou goest, learn more than thou truest, set less than thou throwest, leave thy drink on the floor, and keep in a door, and thou shalt have more than 2/10 to a score.
This is nothing, fool.
Then 'tis like the breath of an unfeed lawyer. You gave me nothing for it. Can you make no use of nothing, nuncle? Why, no, boy. Nothing can be made out of nothing. Prithee tell him, so much the rent of his land comes to, he will not believe a fool. A bitter fool? Dost thou know the difference, my boy, between a bitter fool and a sweet fool? No, lad, teach me. That lord that counseled thee to give away thy land, come place him here by me. Do thou for him stand, the sweet and bitter fool will presently appear. The one in motley here, the other found out there. Dost thou call me a fool, boy? All thy other titles thou hast given away that thou was born with.
This is not altogether fool, my lord.
No, faith, lords and great men will not let me. If I had a monopoly out, they would have part on't, and ladies too. They will not let me have all fool to myself. They'll be snatching. Give me an egg, nuncle, and I'll give thee 2 crowns. What 2 crowns shall they be? Why, after I've cut the egg in the middle and eat up the meat, the 2 crowns of the egg. When thou clovest thy crown in the middle and gavest away both parts, thou borest thy mule on thy back o'er the dirt. Thou hadst little wit in thy bald crown when thou gavest thy golden one away. If I speak like myself in this, let him be whipped that first finds it so. Fools had ne'er less wit in a year, for wise men are grown foppish. They know not when their wits to wear, their manners are so apish. When were you wont to be so full of song, Sirrah? I have used it, nuncle, ever since thou madest thy daughters thy mothers. For when thou gavest them the rod and putst down thine own breeches, and they for sod and joy did weep, and I for sorrow song, that such a king should play bo peep and go the fools among. Prithee, nuncle, keep a schoolmaster that can teach thy fool to lie. I would fain learn to lie. And you lie, Sirrah, we'll have you whipped. I marvel what kin thou and thy daughters are. They'll have me whipped for speaking true, thou'lt have me whipped for lying, and sometimes I'm whipped for holding my peace. I'd rather be any kind of thing than a fool, and yet I would not be thee, nuncle. Thou hast pared thy wit of both sides and left nothing in the middle. Here comes one of the pairings.